Okay, if not, then we're going to go ahead and get started with the rest of class for today. So first, we're going to take some notes on piecewise functions. Starting a new topic today, but it is very related to our discussion about domain and range, okay? We're talking about inequalities again, or we will use these when we're doing piecewise functions. So we're going to review our inequalities before we go ahead and get started, okay? This document is on Canvas if you would like to print it. If you don't have a printer, you don't want to print it, feel free to write it down on notebook paper. Just make sure to get everything down. Okay, so our inequalities here, we have our 4 different types like we talked about. All right, so this one is going to be our less than. Then we have our less than or equal to. There's not a lot of space to fit that in. Then we have our greater than. And this one is going to be our greater than or equal to. Okay, you can remember this using the alligator thing. Like if you have 2 numbers here, the bigger number is going to be the one that the alligator eats. So this number is going to be the smaller one. You could also remember that like this one kind of looks like an L for less than. And then if it doesn't look like an L, if you can't open it up and make it look like an L, then it's greater than. Okay. And we're going to plot the inequalities that they have here on each number line. We're going to write them out in words just to make sure that we remember what this stuff means. So since this is a review, I'm going to call on you guys. Jarrell, are you here? Regina? Regina, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to try to figure out what this means. So how would I say this inequality
in a what?
Like using words, how do I say this inequality?
You can say 3 is greater than x.
So remember the alligator opens up to the thing that is bigger. So if x is bigger.
So x is greater than 3.
Perfect, yes. Excellent. X is greater than 3. I'm just going to write the number 3 since I don't have space. Okay, so I'm going to do some highlighting to hopefully make it more clear. So our X came from here. The greater than symbol came from right here. All right, so is greater than came from right there. And then 3 is our last value. Okay, so that's how we said that out in the sentence. Okay, now we're going to put this on a number line. So I'm going to go ahead and mark my number line 2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so where am I going to put my dot, Marquez? I don't think Marquez was here. Navre, you messaged me for attendance. Can you try using your mic real quick? It's not appear to be working, so Navre will skip you, I guess. Monica's not here. Abimail. Jakeem. Jason, are you here? Jason's mic isn't working. Y'all with these mics, we need to get somebody to fix y'all's computers. Lizbeth. Lizbeth, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, so where am I going to put my dot for this expression? The expression x is greater than 3. Where should my dot go on this number line? What's the only number in the expression? Elizabeth, what's the number in our expression here? Elizabeth, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, what's the number in our expression here? So our expression is x is greater than 3. What's the number?
3.
Very good. So we're going to put our dot at 3. Is it going to be open or closed? Remember, this is open. This is closed. What should go right here?
Closed.
So it's closed when you have either less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, and open if you have less than or greater than. So since we have greater than here, we should use the
Open.
Yeah, the open one. So I'm going to put an open circle at 3. It's saying that our values should be greater than, so we're going to put our arrow facing to the right. Thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, so this should be our number line for the first one. What questions do you guys have? Okay, if there are no questions, we'll move on. I'm going to do the next one for us since it's kind of similar, and then I'll have somebody else do the last one. So in the next one, we have our x as usual, so that's going to start out our little sentence. And this time we have a different symbol. We have a less than or equal to symbol. So we're going to write x is less than or equal to 7. And 7 is our number. Okay, so that's my sentence. I'm going to write out, let's see, how did I do this? So -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so my dot is going to go at 7 because that's the only place I have a number. All right, so I need a dot here, and then I have to decide if it's open or closed. Notice that we have a less than or equal to sign, so it needs to be a closed dot. So I'm going to fill it in. And then it says x's are less than or equal to. So less than is going to be going to the left. So I'm going to draw my arrow in, going to the left. Okay, what questions do you guys have? Okay, Olivia was not here. Ruby, are you here? Ruby?
Yeah.
All right, so Ruby, I want you to help me write this sentence out for this one. So what am I going to start with? What's the very first one I have?
Oh, one is less than.
Yeah. Good. One is less than
X.
Yeah, which is
Right. Oh.
So 1 is less than x, which is
Less than equal to 5.
perfect. Yes. Less than or equal to 5. Okay, so this one had 2 numbers in it. Okay, so we had 1 here, and we had 5 here. Okay, so we had to include those in our sentence. And then we have our symbols. So the less than was here. Our less than or equal to was there. And then our x is in the middle. So you can tell by our coloring that we're keeping everything in the same order. We're just rewriting it in words. Okay. And then I forgot to do that for this very first one. It'll be fine, I guess. So then I need to draw out my number line. I'm just going to do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I'm going to need 2 dots because I have 2 numbers. So I know I need a dot at 1 And I know I need a dot at 5. Okay, and we're gonna need to decide whether or not these are filled in or open. Amar, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so 1 has this less than symbol with it between it and X. So is it gonna be open or closed?
Open.
Very good. And what about 5?
Close.
Very good, because we have the less than or equal to symbol. And then we see that X is between these two values, so I'm just going to draw a line directly in between these two dots. Okay, good job, guys. What questions do you have? Okay, so these inequalities we've covered before, but they're really important for piecewise functions, because when we do piecewise functions, we break up different functions according to where they are on the x-axis, and that is defined by an inequality, okay? So we are going to practice graphing these first, okay? So we have some number values here, and we want to split it up into 2 pieces. So this table is going to be for when X is less than or equal to 2. This is our first inequality and function that we're given. And then the next one is going to be for, so this is this box. And the next one is going to be for when X is greater than 2, okay? This whole box, or table, I guess. We'll find a different color. Okay, so that's this guy and this table here. Okay, so now we need to fill in these tables. So we want values that are less than or equal to 2 in X. We have 2, we have 1, we have 0, we have -1. All of these values are smaller than or equal to 2. Now we want to sub these values into this function. So this function, the function that goes with this interval, is 2x plus 1. So we are subbing these values into 2x plus 1. So this one is going to be 2 times 2 plus 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 should give me 5. Then I'm going to have 2 times 1 plus 1, which should give me 3. Then I have 2 times 0 plus 1 should give me 1. And then I have 2 times -1 plus 1, which should give me -1 as my final answer. Okay, so I want to plot these points on my graph. So my first point is 2, 5. So I'm going to go right 1, 2, and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put a point right there. Now, since this was on our inequality, 2 is a number that's on our inequality, I need to decide whether I use an open or a closed circle. Because I have a less than or equal to sign here, I know that this particular point has to have a closed circle. Okay? I'm going to plot my next point, which is 1, 3. Then 0, 1. Then -1, -1. Is that right? Yes. Okay, and I feel like I did something wrong. 1, 3. No, that's right. It just looks, for some reason, I think my dots are a little wonky. And then you're going to take a straight edge and you're just going to draw straight through all of this. Okay. So I should have a line going straight through all those points. See, this point just looks like it shouldn't. Did I do this wrong? I did. This one should be up here. That's why this is so wrong. Okay. Somebody should have called me out. I messed up my whole graph.